Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coffee with Kenobi's Facebook Live every Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I am your host, Dan Z. Thrilled to be back here with you talking some Star Wars. Tonight, we're going to discuss your top 5 favorite Star Wars helmets and, back by popular demand, more Star Wars trivia. Get ready. Let's say hello to everybody who has joined us. We've got Jim here with us. Hello, Jim. Good to see you, my friend. Let me get rid of this banner so I can see everybody. Hey, Jim, what's up, man? Good to have you. Terry, welcome, welcome. Minta, good to have you back on the show. Ross, how's it going? Ross with an ominous post. Tyler says, best part of Mondays. Very kind of you, Tyler. It's pretty great for me as well. Blake is all in. What's up, man? Hello, Mary. Great to see you. Daniel is here. Killian is here. Killian still riding high from that no-hitter yesterday, undoubtedly. And, of course, Mason Z is out there watching the show as well. Let's go ahead and jump. Oh, Cameron, thanks, man. Favorite part of Mondays. I really, truly appreciate that. Let's go ahead and jump into what's brewing in the world of Star Wars this week. Tom Kane, take us in.
And now, let's see what's brewing in the Star Wars universe this week.
All right, the world of Star Wars this week. Mason says hello. Mason, good to have you. Good practice for your typing as well. Man, look at that. We're learning, we're growing, we're talking Star Wars, making new friends. What a great, great situation that is. All right, so what's going on in the world of Star Wars this week? Anything that has kind of grabbed your attention? People have been asking me, hey, what's going on with that Razor Crest, that Mandalorian Lego that you and Mason have been building? Well, it's been a little slow lately because it's a pretty daunting piece, and I had that great moment a couple of days ago. We were building and putting the engines on the side of the Razor Crest, and all of a sudden this white Lego piece popped off, and I have no idea what it was or what it went to, or if it's very crucial to attaching to something else, or if it's just cosmetic. So hopefully it's not going to come back to bite us later. But we're going well. I think we've got maybe 2 bags left, Mason, maybe 3 bags left. Feel free to chime in on the chat if you can remember, little buddy. But it's going well. It's really, really fun. We're having a great time doing it. And conversely, we are also excited about that Mos Eisley Cantina Lego set that is coming out in a couple of weeks. I know the Jedi News got an advanced one and they were playing it. And Carter, what's up, man? How are you? That's Mr. Zare to you, of course. So it's pretty cool. We're excited to kind of see. I mean, Lego's really done great. I mean, a great thing about Lego, the connection of Lego to Star Wars, as many of you know, is that the Lego brand was heading towards bankruptcy rather quickly. And guess what? That didn't happen because of Star Wars. Star Wars created a couple of different Legos. And there you go, Carter. Very good. Love it. Love it. Love it. So they made a land speeder set. They made a Phantom Menace set with a miniature Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and the Biker Scouts. And it was great, and it was huge. And some people don't know this, or maybe you do. But the Marvel comics were going out, and then suddenly they did the Star Wars line for the original film, and it saved Marvel. Star Wars has done a lot. Star Wars has done a lot for a lot of companies, so it's really, really cool. Speaking of a lot of companies, I just got something recently from the good folks at Igloo. Igloo, of course, has a great series of awesome Star Wars products, and this is the latest. It's one of those, keeps everything cold. This is just water. Last time people thought I was not drinking water, but trust me, when you're talking this much, you need something of water. So very, very cool. Go to igloo.com and check out their Star Wars collection. There's a lot of great stuff there. Tyler says the Cantina set looks great. Those big sets are a lot of fun. My wife and I have the $400 Hogwarts castle. I want to add a big Star Wars set to our collection. Well, Tyler, it looks like that Cantina set is going to be the one for you. So, wow. And how cool. I know it's not Star Wars related, but if you built that Hogwarts set and you have a picture of it, post it in the CWK Cafe. That would be awesome. CWK Cafe, if you are watching the show tonight and you're not a member of the CWK Cafe, be sure to do so. It is our Facebook group where we talk all things Star Wars. It's family friendly, it's spoiler free, and we'd love to have you join us in the collection. Colby says, Hey, the beard is coming back. Yes, sir, the beard has, in fact, started to come back. It's as soon as I see a leaf fall in our house in central Illinois, then I just think, you know what? It's time. It's time to get that beard back. And that's kind of my teacher look anyway. So, yeah, the beard is coming back for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our top five. Well, before we do that, Jim says, I think I had almost all the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones Legos as a kid. They're so much fun, but also great learning exercises for kids. I agree. They're great. I mean, Mason and I building the Razor Crest, we've learned, different ways to communicate with each other, to collaborate, and we have this great thing where we'll separate all the pieces. And I'll have certain colors on one side, he'll have certain colors on another, and he'll say, Daddy, I need this one, or I'll say, Mason, I need this one. And it's been a learning process, but it's been really great, and I'm having the best time building with him. And again, one of the things I love the most about Star Wars, if not the best thing about Star Wars for me, is all the fun family memories I have with it. And I know so many of you are in that same boat. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our top fives. It's top five time here. This week is going to be your top five favorite Star Wars helmets. This was a topic created by my son Mason, and he just said it real matter of fact. And I thought, well, this is great because Star Wars helmets encompass a lot of things. It's, of course, bounty hunters, Sith Lords, Stormtroopers, Clone Troopers, all eras of Stormtroopers, Rebel pilots, characters from all the animated stuff. There's a lot. The crew, the Fireball gang from Star Wars Resistance, the Fireball racing team, they have helmets as well. So there's a lot. So let's go ahead and jump in to what we've got going on here. So my number five favorite Star Wars helmet is the Biker Scout. Now, is the Biker Scout my favorite character ever? No, certainly not. But you have to remember when the original trilogy was out, besides the AT-AT driver and the TIE pilot, we really pretty much had status quo for Stormtroopers. And so to see the Biker Scout, which is probably the most radical change to the helmet with the design with the huge visor extending over, was really fantastic. And to see an action figure of it back in the early 80s was mind-blowing. And that was a huge figure that we all sought after. In fact, a lot of my characters, or the helmets that I've picked, are very much tied into the action figures themselves. We've got some other people chiming in. Blake is excited to see everybody's favorites. I'm excited too. Mary says, Dr. Afra, I guess you can call it helmet. That's interesting. Yeah, it's almost like an old-fashioned fighter pilot, like real world, like, the Wright brothers kind of situation was sort of like an old-school flight helmet. So that's a fun one, Mary. I love it. Jim's number five is the Death Trooper helmet. I think the black and green coloring makes it really intimidating. Well, I just thought of another one that's on my honorable mention. The Death Trooper is great. I say this every week. But these top fives, I need to narrow them down. You'd think a research teacher would know better than to narrow down topics, but I want to give you a big pool to kind of swim in, so it makes it more fun. Five for Ross is Sabine Wren. A great choice. Ross, any particular Sabine Wren helmet style or just everything that she's ever done? I'm wondering if you have a certain favorite. I know that I do. Howard says, Aplek, the Knight of Ren with the big axe. It's a brutal, intimidating looking helmet, and I love the hooded look for it. Nice, Tyler. I think this is the second week in a row that you have mentioned the Knights of Ren, so that's cool. I love it. Cameron says the Red 5 X-Wing helmet. There you go, our first Rebel pilot helmet. Daniel has Kylo Ren. I have a feeling we'll be hearing Kylo Ren later too. Brian, of course, says don't forget the Snow Trooper. Very good. And Brian, good to have you back. Brian, our resident 501st member. Good to have you here, buddy. Do you have a Snow Trooper helmet? I don't know. Those are probably hard to. I can imagine making something like that. Minta says, Luke's helmet from A New Hope. Can't go wrong with a classic. Well, no question about that. Terry's number five is Darth Nihilus. Did you see? Great choice. Did you see the announcement? We posted, of course, on Coffee with Kenobi's webpage and on social media. But they're going to have 6-inch Black Series characters of some of the classics from the Star Wars video games. Pretty cool. Blake says the Imperial TIE Fighter helmet, the all black with the Imperial logo on top, looks so cool. One of my favorite action figures too. Carter says Leia's disguise was pretty cool. Yes, Carter, that's a great choice. That would be the Bouche helmet, so that is a really fun one. Kato says Sabine as well. Tyler says, I'm a big fan of the Knights of Ren, even though they didn't do much. No, but that's okay. I mean, Star Wars is full of really cool, sinister characters that don't have a ton of screen time, but sort of take on a legacy all their own through their action figures and fandom. Ross says, Sabine, more pink down the middle. Okay, cool. So Mason gave me his top 5 as well. I have it in my phone, and Mason, I forgot to open it up. Let me get that for you, buddy. I know Mason loves sharing his. Mason's number 5 is a character you may have heard of, Darth Vader. There's an iconic helmet for sure, so good call, Mason. Number 5 for Mason is Darth Vader. My number 4 is the 332nd Company clone. In other words, the clone trooper that has the Ahsoka Tano, uh, basically the imprint of her face on there. They were all in the Siege of Mandalore. I had pictures for all of these, but I forgot to transfer them from my laptop, so I don't have them to show up there. But I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's the clone trooper helmets that was made. They were painted to honor Ahsoka, and I think they're great. I saw Mason and I a couple weeks ago saw the Lego figures of them in a brand new set, and they look great. And of course, there's going to be Black Series ones of them, so really, really great stuff. Let's get to yours now too. Okay, so let's see. Terry says number 4 original trilogy X-wing pilot helmet. Ross's number 4 is Boosh. Love it. Cameron's is the AT-AT pilot, one of my favorite original trilogy helmets. Those things, they're great. Honorable mention on me for sure. Mary says Sabine, especially the last season. Oh, cool. Blake says Luke's X-wing helmet, incredibly iconic. Well, I can't argue with that. Jim's number 4 is Zori Bliss's helmet. He says, I liked it as a similar shape as a xenomorph from the original 1979 Alien film. The Ahsoka Troopers are a great choice, too. Oh, very good. Very good. Minta's number 4 is Kylo's helmet from The Rise of Skywalker. It shows that his figurative armor has been damaged emotionally and physically. Well, that is very well said, Minta. And yes, the black one has that red on it, sort of the way they kind of sewed it together. Very kind of a Norse mythology thing, or in Greek mythology with Hephaestus. So I think that's pretty cool. Tyler's number 4 is the Mountain Trooper, and he's got one of those Black Series. The helmet design grew on him. Yes, Tyler, you got that when you were so kind to grab me that that Black Series Trooper Hondo Onaka from a couple weeks ago. That's a good get. Good helmet. Kato says the old Jedi Temple Guard helmet is a great looking helmet. Oh, and I bet Mason's saying the same thing as me right now. Yes, the Jedi Temple Guard helmet is a great choice. That should have made my list. Man, good call. Daniel gives more love to Luke's X-Wing fighter helmet. Just something stands out to me that I watched growing up. Very good. Carter says that's a really good choice. Those last episodes during the last season were amazing, and their helmet design was a major part in explaining the clones' faith and respect. Absolutely, man. You are so right about that. That was a big part of it, and made, I think, the ending that much more painful. Seeing what happened to Ahsoka. Yeah, it was very tough. It was very tough. Number 4 for Mason is Din Djarin the Mandalorian. His helmet. I'm expecting that one to come up a lot as well. Tyler's number 4 is the Endor Rebel helmet. Oh, nice. Strong connection to the lore because of Wicket and Leia. Well, that's a great one I hadn't considered either. If you try to look up Star Wars helmets, I don't even think you can scratch the surface because I didn't see a definitive list of anything. And by the way, while we're doing the show, I kind of adjusted my mic a little bit before we went live. Is it coming across too loud or does it sound okay? Let me know in the comments so I can adjust the gain if necessary. Brian says the blaster helmet that Luke wore in A New Hope, not because it looks great, but because the scene showing him using the Force for the first time. Nice. Nice. That is a great one. The power of that moment. It was certainly not the last time Luke would use the Force, but boy, that is cool. All right. Let's go ahead and move into number 3. Number 3 for me is Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren from The Force Awakens, because that was the first one, the first time I saw it. You know, again, say what you will about that character, good, bad, indifferent. Blake says it sounds good, so good. I'm glad. Thank you, Blake, for letting me know. I appreciate that. Jeff, also good. And Jeff, good to have you on the show. Kylo Ren, that mask, that voice. Gosh, I guess we could do voices, maybe. But The mask, and especially with his hood of Kylo Ren, is just so powerful, and I don't think there's anything like it. They had to sort of try to find something that would encapsulate the big bad Sith, or is that actually not Sith, but dark side of the Force user, and they had Darth Vader as the standard. And that's something that you can't live up to, but Kylo Ren comes pretty close, or at least equal as far as the design of the helmet itself for me. Let's get to your number threes. Got a lot of them here. Minta says Din Djarin, someone from the Mandalorian, simple yet intimidating. Very good. I love it. Let's see. A lot of comments coming. They're popping up great. I love it. Terry says Mandalorian style helmets, no, not anyone particular. Love the common style and how each is unique with personal user features. Very good. Let's see. Mary says Zori Bliss, of course. Ross says Enfys Nest. Oh, that's another great one. Tyler says Din Djarin, classic Mando look with simple coloring. Jim says it's kind of a cheat, but my number 4 is Kanan's mask. No, that's not a cheat. That's a great one. It's great from a storytelling perspective, but I particularly like the design. Its design parallels to Princess Mononoke's wolf mask. Wow, and that's probably not an accident. I'm sure Dave had that in mind. Jim, that's a great one. Another. I always like when there's obscure ones that people don't necessarily think of right away. Cameron says Hunter's helmet in the Clone Wars. Oh wow. Oh, that's cool. I didn't think of that either. Daniel says Boba Fett's Mando helmet. Kato says I'm going with Kylo Ren from Rise of Skywalker. The choice to return to the mask and the repairs showing he's beautiful and strange. And Kato, that is similar to what Minta said a little bit ago as well. I think I remember correctly. But Mason's number 3 is Sabine Wren also. So Ross, there you go. Good company right there. Ross and Mason picking Sabine Wren. John's number 3 is the Snow Troopers. There you go. Blake's number 3 is Scout Trooper helmet. To me, they are the most unique looking Imperial helmets from the original trilogy era. Carter says Revan's helmet is a good number 3. His story is amazing also. Yeah. Carter, we need to talk more Star Wars, buddy. I didn't know you were as steeped in the lore as you are. Very, very good. Very good. All right, so Mason had 3 for Sabine. Tyler says the Beach Trooper from Rogue One. Love the color and style, almost organic. Oh, talk about blending in perfectly into the environment that they're in, even more than any other clone or stormtrooper. Tyler, that is a great, great pick. The Scarif Troopers. That's a great pick. All right, time to go to number 2. Boy, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? My number 2 is a tie, and I'm really regretting that I didn't grab pictures sooner. I need to be more quicker on the draw with that one. But my number 2 is the tank driver / the AT-ACT driver. So this is a tie. I don't normally do the tie thing. But both of these characters are seen in Rogue One. The tank driver is from that awesome sequence at the beginning on Jeddah, where they are rolling in, and it's right before Jyn Erso is about to be reunited with the person who helped to raise her, and then she meets Chirrut Inway, and just all kinds of powerful things happen. But it's just a great, great looking helmet, extremely unique. And the AT-ACT driver is awesome as well. I'll post both of these pictures in the CWK Cafe tomorrow. I know you know what they look like, but just to kind of add to the show, because they're really, really great. Okay, number 2 for Minta is Darth Vader's helmet, the most iconic of all helmets that strikes fear into any rebel, that's for sure. Terry says, original trilogy Stormtrooper. Star Wars isn't Star Wars without this look. Surprisingly, Stormtroopers are almost always my number 1 if I can squeeze them in, but I don't have Stormtroopers helmets on here. Kind of surprising. Cameron's number 2 is the Death Watch Mandalorian helmet. Oh, cool. Yeah, with the... Oh, those are cool. Like with the, almost like the Maul's kind of adjustment to them with the red. That's really good. Mary says Vader as well. Very good. Tyler says Phase 2 Clone Troopers, the perfect blend of Phase 1 and original Stormtrooper. Extra points for all different colors they come in. Very cool. Daniel's number 2, Vader's helmet system. Awesome. Ross says the Armorer's horned Mandalorian helmet makes me think of Clash of the Titans. So unique. Oh, that is a good connection. I hadn't thought about the original Clash of the Titans connected to the armorer's helmet. That's great. No wonder I like it so much. Jim's number 2 is Bo-Katan's helmet. I think her helmet patterns are really unique for being a Mandalorian helmet. That's a great one too. I hadn't thought of that. Kato's number 2 is Rex's helmet. Can't see the blue and not feel the story. Nice. Brian says, the classic 501st, not just because I'm partial, okay, maybe just a little. It's also a great plot point in A New Hope. Han and Luke use them to sneak in to save Leia. It's one of my favorite things, and I know I've said this before. When Han and Luke wore the Stormtrooper armor, I think that's why I like the Stormtrooper armor so much. Blake says, Vader's helmet. Dude, it's Vader! The overall menacing look and history behind the design is beautiful. I can't argue with that. Carter's number 2 is Darth Nihilus. He has an amazing helmet, along with being one of the strongest beings to ever exist in the universe. Good spot for it, for sure. Tyler's number 2 is a Mandalorian of any kind. Sleek design, elegant helmet for a more civilized time. I see what you did there. Very good. Mason's number 2 is the Clone Troopers from Revenge of the Sith. That armor, I love that too. It's kind of like we're so close to being Stormtroopers, but we're not quite there yet. Similar to what Tyler just said. They're just great. And then when I saw the 501st version with the blue on it, like you said, all the other colors, that's so good. All right. Time for our number 1 favorite Star Wars helmet. I'm going to guess, of course I don't know what you've all picked. I'm going to guess we're going to see a lot of Vaders and Kylo Rens, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. As for me, my number 1 Star Wars helmet is Boba Fett. A little bit of a shock if you've been listening to the show over the years. Give me 1 second. The reason I picked Boba Fett is you got to understand. In the late 70s, when you had all the Star Wars figures, and there were still a few from the cantina you needed or things like that, but when there was a mail-away option to get a brand new character that was going to be The Empire Strikes Back, pretty much one of the only images we had was Boba Fett. He captivated our imagination. I remember ordering him. You had to get a certain amount of proof of purchases from action figures. So, of course, I got extra Stormtroopers or what have you. I mailed him away, and I got Boba Fett in the mail. I thought it was the most amazing looking figure. I knew nothing about him except that he was a bad guy and that he was going to be a problem for the heroes. And I was on a school bus. This is going to be a surprise to people who know me really well. But I held him out. I opened up the school bus window, and I put my hand out the window, and I had Boba Fett's hands up, and I was flying him in my hand out the school bus window as I was leaving school. Okay, a couple things. One, I would never encourage or tell anyone to stick their hands out of a school bus window. Why didn't the bus driver stop me? I don't know. I was like 7, so I don't know why they didn't, but they should have. I think rules were different, back then. And 2, for me to put a figure out a window, like, I'm so lucky I didn't drop it. Whew, are you kidding me? Clearly, I was a kid when I did that. But he was such a cool, impressive figure. I still maintain that's the best action figure ever made. Certainly not my favorite character, far from it, but purely from a design standpoint, that Boba Fett helmet set the stage for everything else Mandalorian as far as the design aesthetic. So it's so good. All right. That's enough for me. Minta is number 1. No surprise, 332nd Company's clone helmet. This was proof of their loyalty to Ahsoka. I agree. That's my number 4. I think it's a great design. Mary, number 1. The Tano Trooper also. So touching when Anakin first presents the troopers to Ahsoka, but so tragic at the end. Oh, indeed. Indeed. Cameron's number 1 Scarce Trooper helmet will always be my favorite. I wish they made a Black Series version to buy. Row One Forever. Ty is Vader's helmet with the red eyes. Oh, nice. Nice. Tyler's number 1 is Kylo Ren from The Rise of Skywalker. I love the helmet in The Force Awakens, but the red cracks make it look a lot meaner. A helmet I hope to own a replica of someday. And Tyler, you've cosplayed as Kylo. I know you were at that Peoria classical music concert last year or earlier this year, and unfortunately we didn't get to meet there, but we will. Jim's number 1 is the Phase 2 clone Shock Trooper helmet. It's my favorite Trooper too, mostly because of nostalgia. Wow! And Jim, is this the first ever where you don't have a Jyn Erso on here somewhere? Wow. That's kind of wild too, but it's super cool that, your knowledge of Star Wars is so big, so I knew you would have no problem coming up with something. Number 1 for Tyler Johnson is Vader. So much can be said, but the biggest thing for me is the intimidation along with the practicality. He needs it. It has many functions, and Anakin Skywalker is gone because of it, and only Vader remains. Or does he? Well, that title is very, very beautifully said. Terry also, Darth Vader, his helmet, the side of his helmet was terrorizing to his enemies, but also with a backdrop to 3 greatest Star Wars posters ever. Oh, that's true. Brian says Revenge of the Sith when Anakin gets its place on his head with the sounds, that high-pitched sound. Yeah, that's a very powerful moment. Unforgettable. A great moment in a great movie. Kato says, I love the blue guard helmets for the Senate guards that are like Roman centurions, but in that cobalt color. Woo. Oh, yeah, nice. Nice pulling out the cobalt. That's a good one. Daniel, original TK bucket. Come on, it is what I think of when I think of Star Wars, and it's so iconic. When I grow up, I want to be one. There you go, man. You can get the 500 first involved and get yourself a TK bucket, or go to a Novos. That's a good idea, too. Ross is number 1. Darth Vader, I love the new stories and characters, but my top spot often seems to be original trilogy OG. Hey, man, I am the same way. Carter says, Darth Malgus, not sure if it's a helmet, but it's a respirator mask, is so intimidating and amazing. I love that they remastered some of the Old Republic games for next-gen Xbox. Not to mention he has a short film that is absolutely stunning. I love it. I love this old school love for the classic video games. Blake's number 1 is Din Djarin's Mando helmet. The sketch look is so cool to me. Plus, I don't think the general public either has such an iconic character since the original trilogy, given its massive success and love. Apologies if I didn't read that correctly, Blake. But yeah, it's great. Brian also says Vader when the... Oh, wait, we got that one. Yeah, for sure. That instant moment with the breathing, so powerful. I mean, everybody in the audience kind of let out a gasp when that happened. Jim said, I thought I'd mix things up. You did, man. I love it. Terry goes, honorable mention to Bucket from Rebels. Oh, wow. Wow. See, again, so many great ones. Mason's number 1. I bet everybody can guess who's been following along over the past couple of months. Mason's number 1 helmet in Star Wars is Jango Fett. Jango Fett, of course. He loves Jango, loves that character. The silver and blue is a great choice. You really can't go wrong with that Mandalorian design. Created, of course, by the great Joe Johnson. So I guess I should let you know what next week's top 5 is going to be. Next week's top 5, I'm really excited about it. Top 5 examples of Star Wars iconography. So, what does that mean exactly? Anybody know? Feel free to put it in the chat before I weigh in. Ross says, good one, Mason. Yeah, thanks, Ross. Appreciate it. I love everybody's support of Mason every week. He gets the biggest kick out of it, and I certainly do too, so it's very kind of you all. So Star Wars iconography, quite simply, is images. Star Wars images. We've got posters, we've got characters, we've got vehicles, we've got starships, we've got lightsabers, we've got anything that you see an image of and you instantly think of Star Wars. Even a silhouette could do it. It doesn't really matter, but you could even say something like, Darth Vader, he's a Star Wars image. Different starships. Even the font or Aurebesh, it really doesn't matter. Anything that kind of crosses your mind and you just think, okay, this is cool. Whenever I see this image, I think of Star Wars. So, yes. Star Wars, top 5 moments of Star Wars, or top 5 images, top 5 examples of Star Wars iconography. So good. So good. All right, my mom just texted me to say that it looks like I need some sleep. Thanks, Mom. I think it's the lighting. Carter says, honorable mention to the heavy gunner stormtroopers that fire the Death Star. The anonymity is amazing. It's got a dark side vibe. You know what, Carter? That's one that doesn't get mentioned a lot, but they're cool. They very much have a 70s look about them. That's a good one. That is definitely a good one. All right, got some more stuff here. Jim says, great choice, Mason. Django almost made my list too. Mita says there's an endless list of iconography. It is endless, and I've honestly been thinking about this one since probably July, and I just couldn't think of a way to put it, and other ones just kept coming up. Tyler says Django is the coolest Fett. Oh, look at that. Blake says, now that you've explained it, I think this will be the greatest top 5 ever. All right. I love it. Well, Blake, I look forward to your list. I look forward to everybody's lists. Speaking of looking forward to stuff, as many of you know, and you've been so supportive, gosh, we are just a little over a month and a week away from my first book available October 20th. The Star Wars book written by myself, Pablo Hidalgo, and Cole Horton. I know we're very excited to see this book. I can't wait to hold it in my hands. I think I've mentioned before, but I do have a PDF of it, but I haven't actually gotten to hold the real print in my hands yet, so I'm very much looking forward to that. It's going to be an absolute blast, but I think what you want to see is Star Wars trivia. So let's get to that. So just like last time, I'm going to be asking some questions here. Oh, Cameron says, love the Vader pop in the background. Need a top 5 Star Wars Funko Pop list. Oh, that's good. Well, here's a closer look. I showed this when I got it. This is one of the convention exclusives. It's the McQuarrie Vader. Oh, sorry for the glare there. Let's see if I can turn on my lighting a little bit so you can get a better look at it. But yeah, they're great. It's a great looking one. I'll turn on the light a lot so you can really see it. Oh, that didn't work at all either. Okay, so I need to get a new camera. Either way. Yeah, it's a great one. I love it. I don't have a ton of pops, but this one is really, really cool. Anything with McQuarrie, I'm a big fan. All right. So here we go. Hey, Kathy, how's it going? Jesse just got a notification about this tonight. Oh, very, very good. Very good. All right, so let's do some Star Wars trivia. I'm going to ask these, give you a little bit of time to kind of marinate. And, of course, don't Google it. Don't cheat. That would be the path to the dark side. The quick and easy way, right? But you want to show your knowledge, your wisdom, and, it's more fun. It's more fun to challenge yourself. There was a really challenging Star Wars trivia entry there was a little bit of a thing on for Dragon Con, and a lot of people posted the results in the CWK cafe last week. That was fun. It was a tricky one, so be sure to check it out and post your scores as well. That would be fun. All right, question number 1. Let's see. Mason and I were talking about a Lego question, but I forgot to look up the actual answer, so we'll have to save that for next time. Okay, here we go. This might be an easy one. Who wonders if it is wise to be trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know? Who wonders if it is wise to be trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know? I'll give you a few seconds to think it over. Who wonders if it is wise to be trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know? Well, Kathy says Padme, Jim says Padme, Kato says Mace, Terry says Padme, Tyler says Padme, Mary says Padme, Minta says Padme, Ross says Mace Windu. Whoa. Wow. Cameron says Mace, Blake says Mace, Daniel says Mace, Carter says Obi-Wan or Padme. Sorry, Carter, you only get one guess, buddy. You have to decide. But that's the first Obi-Wan guess, I will say. So we've had an overwhelming split of Padme or Mace. Kato says Padme. Speaking of Mace, Mason Z, what's your guess, buddy? What's your guess on here? And I'll read it one more time. Who wonders if it is wise to be trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know? Well, Mason, typing on my laptop in another room of the house, says Padme. The answer is Padme. Nice job. Padme Amidala wonders that. She says that to Qui-Gon Jinn, I believe. Okay. Oh, let's see. Some of these are so easy. So Carter, close, buddy. I was thinking it was going to be a Jedi. I forgot that Padme said it. Okay. Whose last line, sticking with the Phantom Menace, whose last line aboard the Trade Federation's battleship is, "Nothing can get through our shield"? Yes, great job, everybody. This is so fun. I love the excitement, and I can feel your collective brains churning with the Star Wars trivia. Star Wars trivia is great. The question again: whose last line aboard the Trade Federation battleship is, "Nothing can get through our shield"? This is a deep cut. You basically have to know the name of this particular Neimoidian. I'm giving you a big hint. This Neimoidian, it's his last line, says, "Nothing can get through our shield." It's his last line aboard the Trade Federation battleship. Blake says the green guy. Hulk? No. Shrek? Jolly Green Giant. Jim says Lot Dodd. Tyler says Rune Hiko. Carter says New Gun Ray. Minta says Viceroy. Mason says New Gun Ray. What's that guy's name? I asked you first. Lot Dodd, New Gun Ray, the alien guy with the cloak. Alright, so a lot of clever people here. I love it. So the answer, and I only know this, it's not New Gun Ray. That's the one that comes to mind. I only know this because of the action figures. The answer is not that guy, but it is Daultay Dauphin. Daultay Dofine. Daultay Dauphin. He's the one who says it. That was a hard one. That's a hard one. Another Phantom Menace one. Might as well try it, right? How many Republic dataries, yes, does Qui-Gon Jinn offer to Watto as payment for a new hyperdrive? How many Republic dataries does Qui-Gon offer to Watto as payment for a new hyperdrive? Qui-Gon says it kind of weird. I guess I'm saying it weird too. But it's Dataries. How many Republic dataries, that makes more sense, does Qui-Gon Jinn offer to Watto as payment for a new hyperdrive? Jim says 20,000. Anybody else? Any other guesses? Colby, if you're still watching, you haven't weighed in a while. Minta says 20,000. Kato says 20. Anybody else? Any other guesses? How many Republic dataries does Qui-Gon Jinn offer to Watto as payment for a new hyperdrive? Cameron says 25,000. So we've got 20, 20, 20, 25,000, 50,000. Price is Right rules, of course. Mason says 20,000. Blake says I need to watch the prequels again. Yes, you do. I think I do too. The answer is 20,000. Congratulations, everybody, for their good guesses. I love it, but the answer is 20,000. Okay. Don't be shy, Colby. Just take a guess. Okay. Let's see. Your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me. Ha ha ha. Mary says I'll go with Mason's answers. Yeah, Mason's doing well again. I love it. I think I blame good parenting, I think, for that. No, he's just smart. He knows his stuff. He remembers everything like a sponge. Terry says whatever it wasn't real enough out in the outer rim. Very good. I agree with Blake. I need a PT rewatch. Yeah. If we could ever figure out a way to do like a live where we could all watch it together, like a live party that was sanctioned by Disney, where we could just hop on Facebook and all watch the shows together, the movies together, that would be fun. Okay. This is an easy one. Do we want an easy one? Sure. Which planet is led by a prime minister named Lama Su? Which planet is led by a prime minister named Lama Su? Hopefully these are all going to start popping up at the same time. Which planet is led by a prime minister named Lama Su? Tyler says Camino. Jim says Camino. Minta says Camino. Ross says Camino. Kathy says Camino. Mason says Camino. And you got the good spelling too. It is Camino. Of course it's Camino. Very good. Very good, everybody. And Mary has Camino as well. So everybody got that one right. Jose, good to have you, my friend. Camino is correct. Okay, next question. Just a few more. Let's see. I'm trying to avoid one that isn't. Look at Carter with the details. The clone facility running government sanctioned. Yeah, no kidding. Ross needs a softball. All right, Ross, I'll give you a softball. Whose blaster gets hacked in half on one of Jabba the Hutt's skiffs? Whose blaster gets hacked in half on one of Jabba the Hutt's skiffs? We were pretty prequel heavy. But whose blaster gets hacked in half on one of Jabba the Hutt's skiffs? I think that's a softball, and I think you're going to get it, Ross. Whose blaster gets hacked in half on one of Jabba the Hutt's skiffs? Tyler says Boba Fett. Kato says Boba Fett. Jim's got Boba. Ross says Boba. Blake says Boba. You have to ask my wife sometime about Boba Fett. It's pretty entertaining. Mary says Boba. Mita says Boba. Jess says Boba. It appears we're gonna have an overwhelming answer here. Mason, I'm just waiting for you. Kathy says Boba too. There you go, Boba Fett. That's the answer. It's Boba Fett. There. How's that for a softball? That's an easy one. All right, another challenging one from the Phantom Menace, I think. Who is the first person to mention the word Sith? Blah. Who is the first person to mention the word Sith in the Phantom Menace? Who is the first person to mention the word Sith in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace? Any guesses? Carter, you were right, man. Boba Fett. But who is the first person to mention the word Sith in the Phantom Menace? Weigh in now. Okay, this is getting interesting. A lot of answers. Tyler says Yoda. Ross says Darth Maul. Minta says Qui-Gon. Terry says Mace. Jim says Darth Sidious. Mary says Qui-Gon. Jose says Qui-Gon. Daniel says Windu. Colby says Maul. Carter says Qui-Gon. Kato says, I'm guessing Mace, but it's probably Yoda. I'll read it again. Who's the first person to mention the word Sith in the Phantom Menace? Mason says Mace Windu. Pretty sure Kenobi mentioned a dark side energy. The answer, this is one of the first times this has happened. We only have, I think, one person got it. Only one person got this one right. And it was Jim Capron. The answer is Darth Sidious. He is the first person to mention the word Sith in the Phantom Menace. I don't even think Darth Maul says the word Sith, does he? I don't think so. Doesn't say very much. At least not in this one. But he gets a lot more loquacious in the Clone Wars, of course. All right. Look at that. Only one, Jim. Look at you, man. You're the only person who got that one right. How about that? Okay. Yes, you do. You do know your prequels, Jim. For sure. Okay. Which Sith apprentice kills his master but dies before finding his own apprentice? Which Sith apprentice kills his master but dies before finding his own apprentice? Which Sith apprentice kills his master but dies before finding his own apprentice? I was going to debate this question, but now I think it's worded correctly. Which Sith apprentice kills his master but dies before finding his own apprentice? Remember, there's a lot of Star Wars lore out there. This is all canon stuff, though. Which Sith apprentice kills his master but dies before finding his own apprentice? Any guesses? Jim stumped. Kato says Vader. Carter says Vader. Ross says Vader. Kathy, Jeff, Terry, everybody says Vader. Jim. Jose says Vader. Jim, my guess is you're overthinking it, which is fair. Mason says Vader. Mary says Vader. The answer is Darth Vader, of course. I was going to sort of quibble with the idea that I think he becomes a Jedi and then he returns the light side of the Force and then he kills Sidious, but I think his act of defying the Emperor turns him back to the dark side as it's happening, so I think they're kind of concurrent with one another. It is a tricky question, but you did get the other one, so I think you're redeemed. Force Unleashed is not canon, that's correct. Carter never was canon. It was great fun, though. One heck of a great video game, for sure. All right, based on time, I'm going to ask, wait, one more or two more? Let's do two more, because these are fun. Okay. Which type of vehicle is used to fly Attack Pattern Delta? Kylo wouldn't count because he's not a Sith. so I wouldn't count him in that one. Good question, though, Carter. I love that. You always have good questions. So what type of vehicle is used to fly attack pattern delta? Which type of vehicle is used to fly attack pattern delta? Which type of vehicle is used to fly attack pattern delta? Jim says snowspeeder. Any other guesses? Terry says the snowspeeder on Hoth. Blake says snowspeeders. Jose says Hoth snowspeeder. Carr says salt skippers. Gato says snowspeeders. Colby says snowspeeders. Mita says snowspeeders. Mason says snowspeeders. It is snowspeeders. I believe Luke is the one who gives that order. Kathy, not the one the clones fly. Ross is going to go with the audience. It's snowspeeders. It's definitely snowspeeders. Okay. Let's see, not a bomber or not a Y-wing, but those are great guesses. These are great guesses. The trivia can be tricky. So this is fun. All right, last one for tonight. And I don't want to do these necessarily every week, or maybe I do. I don't know. People love Star Wars trivia, and honestly, if there's no other content, I think Star Wars trivia is pretty great. I mean, they're pretty fun, for sure. All right, let's see. That's interesting. There's a few interesting ones here. I'm kind of weighing. Talk amongst yourselves why I debate this. And let's see. Okay. We'll do this one. What must be deactivated before Han Solo's ship can gain passage to Endor? What must be deactivated before Han Solo's ship can gain passage to Endor? What must be deactivated before Han Solo's ship can gain passage to Endor? Carter says, do I have a sequel question? I don't have one right now, but I could certainly come up with one for sure. But that would be a bonus because this is technically the last one. But yeah, I can come up with a sequel question. Who survives a crash landing on... I'm sorry. What must be deactivated before Han Solo's ship can gain passage to Endor? Terry says security shield system. Mary says force field from the moon of Endor. Kato says shield generator, some sort of shield. I'm taxing the brain. The Death Star shield. Sorry, Kathy. Daniel says the shield. Everybody's close, but everybody's missing a key word. Could this be the one that stumps everyone? Because, I mean, okay, let's just say, I won't stump everybody. I don't want to end it like that. The Death Star shield or the shield generator is correct, but there is a more specific term that is used. A much more specific term. But if you said shield or Death Star shield or shield generator, I'm going to give it to you. Well done. Kudos to you. But there is a more technical term. Who wants to get the ultimate gold star for this week's Star Wars Trivia on Coffee with Kenobi's CWK Live? The specific name is the deflector shield. Of course, it's the deflector shield that Han Solo has to be sure to turn off so they can take care of business. The deflector shield. Well, great job, everybody. We have a few minutes, so let's go ahead and jump into Ask Dan Z. Wow, that was great fun. So deflector shield, that was the big stumper. That was the closest we've ever come to stumping everybody. And you all are so smart and so gifted and so knowledgeable at Star Wars that I don't know if we're ever going to get close to stumping. So that might be as close as it actually gets. Lots of oohs and ahs. Pretty fun. I love it, man. Just adds to the fun. But it bogged down the system to allow us to post pictures in next week's top 5. You know what? If Facebook lets you post pictures, do it. Absolutely do it. I don't think that will be a problem. I think it's going to depend more on your computer, Terry, specifically on your side. It won't bog down things on my end. So if you have pictures, feel free. That would be great. That would be so great. And it would be nice because it's Star Wars iconography, for sure. If you could have coffee with any Star Wars actor, who would it be, and what do you think they would order at the cafe? Blake, you always have the most fun, interesting questions. Coffee with a Star Wars actor. Well, I've actually had coffee with a couple of Star Wars actors, but not like this. I think it would be really fun to have coffee with Mark Hamill. I feel very blessed that I got to chat with Harrison Ford for a significant amount of time. We didn't have coffee, but that is the kind of conversation we probably would have had over coffee. But I think Mark Hamill would be fun. I think Mark Hamill would be great fun. Actually, I would really love to talk to George Lucas the most. And he strikes me as someone who would just get black coffee, just a very simple, low maintenance guy. Just get that, and I would just pick his brain about literature and film and how he makes story, because I think that'd be great. What a great question. Terry says we can post GIFs but not pictures of rats. Well, maybe we can make that work. Carter says favorite movie and book Star Wars related. So my favorite movie is, of course, The Empire Strikes Back, but I would say the original Star Wars or The Last Jedi are up there to the top 3, for sure. My favorite book, there's a lot of great Star Wars books. I really like Bloodline a lot. That is the story of how the galaxy finds out that Leia, when she's at the peak of her political powers, is actually the daughter of Darth Vader. That's very powerful. I'm a big fan of the Star Wars book, but I'm biased because I wrote it. I don't know if that counts. But fiction-wise, I'd say Bloodline's my favorite. But there's a lot of great ones. We could do a top 5 Star Wars novels at some point, I would say. Kathy says, you'll all need to check out the video I posted a while ago. So awesome. For sure, we absolutely will. Any other questions for me before we wrap up this show? For sure. Love your questions. Love your comments. Tyler says, I feel like time moves twice as fast during CWK. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. It's great fun for me to visit with each of you. And since we weren't able to go to Celebration this year, this is nice to get that Star Wars fix and talk with our people. Blake says, what Star Wars planet would make a great summer vacation? Well, it wouldn't be Hoth. I think we can safely say that's the case. Thank you. Thank you. Ross, I've been saving that one for a long time. Ross sent that clip for me for sure. Would I ever get a Star Wars tattoo? Oh, that is a good question, Minta. You know, I've actually considered it a few times. It would be something probably Orabesh or maybe the Rebel logo, something like that. But I always kind of pulled the trigger because, well, you know, I have a pretty reasonable pain tolerance. I'm going to quote Daffy Duck. I don't like pain. It hurts. And I don't know if, like, in 40 years, like, if my cool Orabesh thing would, like, look all weird and faded. And I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it. I think it's cool. If I know my good buddy Matt Martin of Lucasfilm has a ton of Star Wars tattoos, but I think that's fun. Carter hasn't read a ton of EU books, but I'm trying to read more books. Carter, I will set you up with some good stuff, man. How many Star Wars shirts do I own? Well, I'm sure my wife is going to be thrilled with this, but I haven't counted, but I think it's easily 30 plus. Now, if you count sweatshirts and hoodies and coats and jackets. Now, to be fair, a lot of these have been sent to me by companies. I'm very blessed and fortunate for that. I've certainly bought my share of them too, but if you count all of that, coats, sweatshirts, t-shirts, tank tops, everything, I'd say easily over 50 for sure. What actor or actress would you like to see in a future Star Wars film? You know, that's a great question. I would like to see Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Oscar Isaac return. I mean, but they, you know, who knows? That'll probably be a long time coming. I don't know. That's actually kind of a stumper, but that's a great one, Colby. I really like that one. I'd be interested to see what other people think as well. I think Paul Rudd would be great. My wife and I just watched a Paul Rudd film recently. He would be fun to have on there. I would love to have Chadwick Boseman in Star Wars somehow, but I've said that's not going to happen, which is so awful. But you know what? We have great memories of him and the great things he's done. I look at Mason being so sweet. I love you, Dad. I love you too, Mason. I'm so proud of you and so happy to have you on Facebook Live with me. Thanks, buddy. Tyler says, A+ use of salacious crumbs laugh. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. We'll put that again. Michael B. Jordan is a great choice. I love Michael B. Jordan. Man, you want to talk about getting fired up? Watch the original Creed. That movie's about as good as it gets. Will the Cubs win the World Series? I hope so, man. The White Sox scare me. A lot of teams scare me, but I don't know. I'll tell you in about a month and a half. How about that? I'm excited. I'm enjoying the season. I can certainly say that. I'm also enjoying spending time with each and every one of you every week at Coffee with Kenobi. This week on Coffee with Kenobi, I hope that you will join us because on the show this week we're going to have Amira Martin and Holly Fry joining me to talk about something we've never talked about on Coffee with Kenobi ever. I'm going to address a rumor. Well, it's not really a rumor, it's more speculation. I'm going to talk about, well, I can't even believe I'm going to say a lot, but I'm actually going to address an interview that Daisy Ridley had where she revealed that what they were strongly considering for Rey's character, that she was going to be a Kenobi. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about story and how designs work. It's been great to chat with each and every one of you. Oh, hold on one second. It's been great chatting with each and every one of you. I've got my guest stars showing up. Hey, Mason, what's up, buddy?
Nothing.
All right, good to have you. How'd you like the show?
Good.
Good. You did a great job on the trivia. All right, Carter, we'll see you tomorrow. Good to have you. Blake, my pleasure, buddy. You are all the best community. This is the best community. I'm so blessed to have it. Blessed to share with my son, with our family. We have the best time. We will see you next week. Get your Star Wars iconography ready. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. It's probably the most expansive list we have ever done. Thank you so much, Jim. Cheers. Ross, thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for joining me every Monday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. My son is playfully mocking me over my shoulder, so I guess we're going to call it quits. We will see you next time. Jeff says, hey, Mason. See? Want to do your Danzy impression?
Happy with Kenobi.
And I can't top that, so we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
Daddy,
Yeah.
next time for trivia, I should come down and actually say this.
Do you want to answer? You can make your own list of trivia questions, and you can write them out, and you can read them to everybody. That'll be fun. You want to do that?
Is it right
Okay. Not now, for next week. Like, well, you have all week to plan them. You can write them out.
now? You tell me some trivia questions.
Sure, I'll help you.
on the card?
Yeah.
I love those. They're like the best.
Aren't they fun? They were hard, weren't they?
I knew it was that guy. Once I typed
Yeah.
New Gunner, I was like, oh, what's his name?